Okay, so this time I'm going to go over question number 10. And question number 10 in the review is a percent to empirical formula calculation. So it starts by asking, calculate the empirical formula of a compound that is 67% Hg, which is mercury, 10.8% sulfur, and 21.6% oxygen. So we're going to start this problem by creating a row of information that applies to mercury. So I'm going to put mercury here, one that applies for sulfur, so I'll put sulfur there, and one that applies for oxygen, so I put oxygen here. So the first thing we do is we change our percent to grams. So step one, remember, is to change percent to grams, and we assume 100 gram sample. Remember, that's because it's really easy to find our percentage. If our sample is 100 grams, that means that we have exactly that many percents. So for example, we have 67.6% mercury. 67.6% becomes 67.6 grams. That's it, we converted it, that's step one. So we do the same thing for sulfur. 10.8% sulfur becomes 10.8 grams of sulfur. This is for mercury. And then for oxygen, 21.6% becomes 21.6 grams of oxygen. The next step is we're going to change our grams to moles. So those become fractions over 1. Each one of them does. And we set up 3 conversions to moles. So for each one, the grams moves down, grams of Hg, grams of sulfur, grams of oxygen, and for each one, moles goes on the top. Moles of oxygen, moles of sulfur, moles of mercury. Now what's left to do is to go look at the periodic table and find their molar mass. So if you look at mercury, mercury's molar mass is 200.59 grams per 1 mole. So we write it just like that. And then we go for sulfur, and sulfur is 32.06 grams in 1 mole. And then finally oxygen is 16.00 grams in 1 mole. And so now we just do 3 sets of division. So once we have this all set up, now we finally pick up our calculators. Sorry, I'm going to tell you that step 2 down here was convert grams to moles. Okay, that's what we're doing right now. So we're going to go for the first one, 67.6 divided by 200.59. That gives us 0.34 moles. And then for the next one, for sulfur, we do 10.8 divided by 32.06. And that one gives us the same answer, 0.34 moles. And then lastly, for oxygen, we do 21.6 divided by 16. And that one gives us 1.35 moles. So remember, the really out of the box thinking that we need to remember is that now we divide each of these by the lowest number. So we're comparing 0.34 to 0.34 to 1.35. We're going to divide by 0.34. Divide by 0.34, divide by 0.34, and we're going to get 3 answers. Remember, this is our magic trick. We know this one's 1, we know that one's 1, we can do that math in our head. 1.35 I already have on here, divided by 0.34 gives me 3.97, which we say is 4. Now remember, these are not an answer, these are the subscripts of our answer. So the magic trick is that we say now Hg subscript 1, S subscript 1, O subscript 4. HgSO4 is our answer. Et voila, a little magic trick.